Hey all, Bart from the Bicycle Rider YouTube, and I've got a really cool bike I like a lot. I'm growing to like it. This is called the Trek DS3 or Dual Sport 3. So in Trek's line of hybrid fitness bikes, this is a more aggressive, more capable, a little bit more sturdy bike than the FX. The FX is a robust bike, but it is definitely more upright centric. This bike here is a little bit more aggressive. Of course, this is a size XL. This is for a guy that's, you know, in the 6'5", 6'6" range. I'm a 5'9" guy, so this bike's a little bit big for me. So as you can see, I can't really throw my leg over the side of this one really good. But it's for the video, and I really love this Hex Blue, you know, paint job they put on it. So of course, you don't want to buy a bike just for its looks, but I have to say this bike is pretty stellar looking. I sell a lot of hybrid bikes. I sell a lot of flat bar gravel bikes. I sell a lot of bikes in this category, and Trek has definitely trumped just about everybody else. I know all the other manufacturers on looks. One, their paint jobs are stellar, and this also comes in like this dark olive color that's pretty awesome. But this is the Hex Blue. As far as looks go, it is a very clean looking bike, especially from the front. You can see how they have hidden the cables. So the cables actually go into the head tube of the frame, and then you don't see them again. You know, it pops out right here for the rear derailleur. But your brake cables and your, you know, shifting cables are all hidden within the frame. And that also helps, you know, if you're out on a trail and you got a lot of tree limbs or something on a trail, things aren't getting caught up. Extremely clean and a little bit more aerodynamic. Speaking of aerodynamics, you know, this is a fairly aggressive, you know, bike. It does put the front end a little bit lower than some of the other hybrid models out there, but it's got an extremely long top tube on it. So even though it's aggressive, it's still a comfortable bike. It's not a drop bar bike at all. You got a flat bar, which keeps your line of sight really good. A lot of people are just a little bit more used to a flat bar than a curved bar. I ride both style bikes, so I see advantages and disadvantages in both. But a lot of people come into my bike shop, and we are here in Biloxi Bicycle Works. This is a little bike shop in Biloxi, Mississippi. We sell several different brands of bikes, but this is one of my favorite dual sport bikes to sell, just because I think Trek has, well, I know Trek has refreshed this design. This is a 2023 model. So they've taken the front suspension fork off. You know, they figured a little bit simpler, a little bit lighter. On the Dual Sport 3, you do get a carbon fiber fork, which serves a couple purposes. One, it's about 3 or 4 pounds lighter than the fork that was on the previous generation with the suspension built into it. It's a little bit simpler. You don't have any moving parts. And what they've done, they put a 650B tire on with a little bit wider profile on the tire, which gives you lower air volume and makes the ride much more smoother. So you can air down these tires to a much more manageable level if you are going to do some rough surface riding. And that's what this bike is great for. It's not a true mountain bike, but if you're looking for one bike that does multiple things really well, this bike is very at home out on the tarmac, around the streets, through the city, onto your favorite bike path, and even on some light gravel roads and you know, park trails. So this is one of those bikes that really can get you riding more places more often. More places because it's a very capable bike to ride on some rougher terrain, but it's also a bike that you might want to ride more often because it's comfortable. You know, you can really get some speed up with this bike. Now on the 3, you do have you know, one by drivetrain up front, and you've got a wide 10-speed in the back with a clutch derailleur. So this is a Shimano, really high quality Shimano rear derailleur with a clutch built into it. And the clutch does make the rear derailleur much more stiff, so you're not getting a lot of chain slap. And I find that it shifts gears a lot better under those rubber situations with a clutch derailleur. It really has revolutionized mountain biking and gravel biking. And now it's bled over into, a bike like this that's made for multiple things. Well, speaking of the rim, 650B rim with a 700 by 50 millimeter tire. Well, not 700 by 50, but 650B by 50 millimeter tire, or basically a 2.0 inch tire. So plenty of tire for multiple terrains. You can air this tire up, and it's got a great tread pattern for the street. So it's nice and smooth in the middle. And then you start getting the little bites towards the end. So as you roll into a corner, this will bite some sand or some gravel. And then if you really roll it over and you get into some deeper mud or something like that, you got the bigger bites to the back. So, and it is it's a tubeless ready rim. And of course you can buy plenty of 650B tubeless ready tires. So you can run this thing tubeless if you want. It comes straight from the shop straight from the factory with, tubes in it. And that's how most people are used to riding with a tube tire. But just know that on the number 3, it's a Gen 5 and it's a version 3. You do get the tubeless ready rims on the 3, not the 2 or the 1, which are both good bikes, but price points go up as you start going from tier 1, tier 2 to tier 3. Tier 3 is where this bike tops out at, and it's right at $1,050. We're in August of 2023. So I see what the price of bikes are going for nowadays, owning a bike shop and selling bikes just about every day. $1,050 is a very good value for everything you're getting in this bike. And you can go down. I think the version 1 start at about $750. And you don't quite get all the features that this bike has. And it's still if you're price sensitive, it's still basically the same frame, a little bit different fork, a little bit different rims, but you still get a very sturdy and capable dual sport bike for the money. This bike shows many faces. This is it in its raw form. But being a Trek and having the Bontrager capability, there are several racks and bags and lights and different configurations you can make this bike into. If you did want to commute on this bike, you can put a rack off the back with multiple different types of bags on it. You can get a frame bag because it does have the mounts underneath the frame here, so you can actually don't just have to Velcro it. You can actually bolt it to your frame, and you can put a lot of stuff in it. And of course, this is a size extra large, so it's got a big frame. You do have your water bottle holders, and then you've got your mounts for an out front rack. And you can put fenders on it. So I kind of like it in the naked configuration. But if you're going to use this bike more for a utilitarian style, and this is one of those bikes you can use to commute back and forth to work. It's got some robust parts on it. So this bike is going to last you if you're riding from the house to work. Some of our rougher roads are in our city and urban environments. So it's nice to have a bike with wider tires. I'm really happy to see that they did put the 650B rather than the 700C on here. So the circumference is a little bit smaller, but the overall circumference is about the same when you add the thickness of the tire. Thickness of the tire means air pressure. So you have a lot of air pressure that you can adjust for the type of riding you're doing or the type of terrain you're doing. You can commute through the city streets all week long on this bike with, let's say, 60 psi of air if you really want to get some efficiency of it. And then if you go camping on the weekend and you're out on some some backcountry roads or some gravel roads, you can air this tire down to like 40 pounds without getting pinch flats, and still get a really good ride out of it. So like I said, the Dual Sport is a fairly simple bike, but gives you a lot of versatility. It's fairly lightweight as well. This bike is coming in at around 26 pounds. and this is for an extra large. So 26 pounds is very respectable for everything that you get on this bike. They put a very comfortable seat on it. You got a threaded bottom bracket. Like I said, the 1x drivetrain, so you don't have a front derailleur that's going to get caught up with mud, or you don't have to worry about what shifter is doing what. All your shifting is right in the back. And then, like I said, with that clutch derailleur, it really does make shifting, really nice. Another nice thing that Trek has done on this bike is offer some Shimano hydraulic disc brakes. Hydraulic disc brakes have many advantages, including the most obvious is stopping power. You grab this brake, there's a lot of modulation, so you can ease into this brake with a lot of modulation, or if you need to just lock them up, you're not going to have any problem locking them up, especially with a guy with an extra large. It's going to have a little bit more mass, a little bit more inertia, and you can definitely have a lot of brake action here. Another advantage with the hydraulic disc brakes is the sealed system. So there's not a cable that can have grit, water, debris introduced onto it and cause stiction. When you have a hydraulic brake line, it's from the reservoir here to the caliper is sealed. So it doesn't matter if you're riding through mud, if you're riding through dirt, if you're riding through sand. You have a clean system that's not going to need cables changed out. And with it being protected inside this frame, it really does offer that bit of sturdiness to the braking system as well. So if you're looking for a really good dual sport bike, something that you can go do, the gravel roads with and still ride back and forth to work. Maybe, here in Biloxi, we're lucky we have the beach just right here. The beach boardwalk is not a perfect built sidewalk or bicycle path. It's broken up. It's not always perfect. And with a bike like this, you get a lot of traction out of this rim tire combination, and it rides well. It rides really well, so you can get your speed, but yet you got plenty of gears if you got to turn around and go into the wind, go up a bridge, go up a hill, go up a mountain in some cases, depending on where you live. Just a very cool bike. So think about the Trek Dual Sport. If you have a local Trek dealer, obviously, stop into your local Trek dealer, ask questions. They should be very knowledgeable on this bike. If you don't have a local Trek dealer, you could use me as a resource. My name is Bart Luther. I own Biloxi Bicycle Works right here in Biloxi, Mississippi. I'll be glad to answer any questions for you. If you're passing through the area, or if you're local and you're looking at buying one of these, come into my shop. I've ridden this bike, and I'd be glad to tell you how I feel riding this bike, or put you on a test ride to ride this bike yourself. I ride a lot of different style bikes, but it is nice to have something like this in your arsenal. A lot of us have racing mountain bikes and racing road bikes and racing gravel bikes, and those bikes cost upwards of $2, $3, $4, even more thousands of dollars. And it's not the kind of bike you want to ride around town and lock up in front of a coffee shop. You certainly don't want to get a $1,000 bike stolen from you, but it's, if you lock this thing up in front of the coffee shop, be careful. But if it did get stolen or ruined, you're not losing a $8,000 or $9,000 bike. And this bike is just more comfortable and fun to ride around town anyway. So let's not talk about bicycle theft, but when it comes down to it, the $1,050 that you're going to spend for this bike is well worth it if you want a bike that you could just go ride around. You could be harsh on this bike out there. You can ride this bike fast, or you can ride this bike slow. One thing I did not mention, I really like what Trek does here. Trek has got a boss here built into the frame for a rear mounted kickstand. So I personally don't use a kickstand, but a lot of people do. So if you want a kickstand on this bike, you don't have to worry about mounting some kind of funky, kickstand that's not made for this bike. Trek puts a nice kickstand mount on there. So if you want a kickstand, hey, that's up to you. It's your bike. You can do anything you want. And with this bike, you can sure do a lot. So anyway, this is Bicycle Rider YouTube. If you like what we do on our channel, just, hit like and subscribe. And that lets YouTube, you guys are watching us. And like I said, if you need any help with, making a decision on one of these bikes, let me know. And I'll be glad to pass on my information to you, my local knowledge on this bike. So Trek Dual Sport. It really is just that. It's a fantastic dual sport bike. So So think about it. It's definitely something that can get you out riding and riding more often in more places. All right, Bart from Bicycle Rider YouTube. Thank you all for your time.